Welcome to the Encouragement Engineering Podcast. We combat the negativity that inundates our daily lives with a positive perspective and positive action. Today's guest is Tessa Stowe. Tessa inspires and empowers people to live in high vibrations so they are free to live a happy, healthy, enchanted life. Tessa discovered the importance of living in high vibration on her journey of grief after her husband Mike died from brain cancer in 2013 and during the events of 2020. As a result, she now has a gift to share and a burning passion to share that gift. That gift is knowing how to live in high vibration. Tessa is a New Zealander and gratefully lives in Bali, Indonesia. So please welcome to the show, Tessa Stowe. Tessa, thank you for taking the time today, for being here on the Encouragement Engineering Podcast. I really appreciate it.
Well, I appreciate being here, and I appreciate also the fact that you and I connected across the oceans. There you are in Florida. Here I am in Bali. Yeah. You're in the evening. Yeah. I'm in the future, in the morning.
Yeah. How's Wednesday look for us?
Well, it's actually good. I looked up this morning when I got up, and the stars were shining, and then a bit of a moon, and it looks good. It looks like a good day.
Good.
So everything's in place, shall I say?
All right. Well, thank you for taking the time to be here today. I really appreciate it. Why don't we tell the audience a bit about you and how you got to where you are?
You mean how I got to living in Bali, or how I got to be doing empowering and inspiring people to live in high vibration?
Yeah, how you started that journey to live in high vibration.
Wow, I think I started it from being in low vibration.
You all got to start somewhere, right?
That's it. I think you talk about it on your website as the hero's journey. Yes. So I think, well, it all started really, I would say, at 5:52 p.m. on Sunday, the 13th of November in 2013, which is basically when my husband closed his mouth, opened his eyes, and died. He died from brain cancer. And I just absolutely plummeted because he was the love of my life, my soulmate, my best friend. We'd been married for 27 years. So from that moment, I just plunged onto my journey of grief. And I can assure you, a journey of grief is just beyond horrible. And I got really depressed. I mean, I just physically, my health physically and mentally just deteriorated. Didn't want to get out of bed. I was consoling myself in New Zealand Sauvignon Blanc because I figured, I could just pass out, and when I woke up, everything would be fine. But unfortunately, that strategy doesn't work. Yeah. So I ended up with all sorts of illnesses. I got shingles on my eye, which can make you go blind. I got bursitis on my shoulder. I couldn't even lift my arm. They thought I had hepatitis at one stage. Just my whole life just plummeted down. And the 5th month after Mike died, I basically had a meltdown. And then someone said, I think, Tessa, you need grief counseling. And I went, oh yeah, I think that's probably a good idea. So I went to the grief counseling, and that was great. And at one session, I told her that I was just living in bed, really. I mean, I had no reason to get up. I mean, why? What was the point? And she asked me to do one little thing. And because I liked her and I trusted her, I just said, okay, look, as long as it's little. And then she said to me, okay, well, I just want you, when you wake up, to put your clothes on and just walk across the road. And then what? I said, and she said, well, then you can just turn around and go back to bed. And I thought, oh, okay, that's easy enough. So sure enough, I did it. So next morning, up I get, put my clothes on, cross the road, turn around, go back to bed. So I did that for a few days in a row. And then one day I got across the road and I thought, wow, it's a really nice sunny day. I might just go for a walk. So and then I went, oh my goodness, I just had what I call a happiness moment. Wow, maybe I could have another one. And I started looking at the flowers on the way and listening to the birds and looking at the ocean. And one happiness moment led to another, to another, to another. And I thought, gee, there's something in this, so I went on a bit of a quest to work out, how she tricked me and how it just got me moving. And so I really became focused on happiness and generating happiness moments, and did quite a lot of study around happiness. Unhappy me, studying happiness. And I discovered that happiness is a superpower that we can all acquire and learn. And I just thought, wow, who would have known that? So I really focused on happiness as a superpower. So I was really convinced I had it nailed. You know, if you wanted to live a happy, healthy, enchanted life, just develop happiness as a superpower. So I was really happy with myself. And then along came the events, you know, those events of 2020.
Yeah.
I don't have to describe what they are, but those events. And down I went again. I just crashed. And because I started going down some rabbit holes and investigating stuff, and I went, oh my goodness. And that's when I discovered that you can have happiness as a superpower, but the other thing, which is high vibration, obviously, but what you consume, what I found out or realized in 2020 is that what you consume through your eyes, your ears, your nose, your mouth, your skin has a vibration as well. So if you are consuming things through your eyes, your ears, your mouth, your nose, your skin, which are low vibration, that's going to put you in a low vibration. So that's when I went, aha, you know, if you want to live in high vibration so that you're free to live a happy, healthy, enchanted life, you need both. You need happiness as a superpower, plus you need to be consuming mostly high vibrations. I mean, I do have the odd glass of wine here and there, okay, low vibration. But, you know, you've got to mostly consume high vibrations through your eyes, your ears, your mouth, your nose, your skin. And that's what I discovered in 2020. So that I call that the missing piece, really. So I put it all together. So happiness is a superpower, consume high vibrations. That's how you basically get yourself free to live a happy, healthy, enchanted life. Does that make sense and answer your question?
It does. It does. It sounds like, you know, it's that path that you were down at a low point. You found what worked for you with help. You accepted that help. And
eventually,
yeah, you know, took small steps eventually, but that's what we go through. We think we're powerful enough to take care of things ourselves, and we really need extra help. And
oh gosh, we do. I was convinced. Somebody, as soon as my husband died, they said you need grief counseling. I went, no, I can do this on my own.
Right.
No. It's just, well, and you know, there's no point actually getting help unless you actually prepared to receive it. Yeah. So it took me 5 months until I had that breakdown that I was ready to receive it. So
right. Yeah,
but we all need help.
Yeah, it says a lot, because you understand, you know, that balance in life, if you will, that piece that you need the help and the value of what you got out of noticing the flowers and the sunshine and the water and how that affected you. You know?
Oh, huge. And I just every day I have that practice now every day. It's like I mentioned, I get up really early. Like I get up. Well, I live next to a whole lot of roosters, so
you're gonna get up early.
I'm gonna get up. They get up really early, roosters, I can assure you. But I love getting up early. I love getting up with the roosters.
Yeah.
And I call it the bird orchestra, because just before the sun comes up and the light starts coming up, the birds just go crazy. They just have this orchestra to welcome the day. So I love being part of the day. And you can probably hear don't know if you can hear the insects. They do a little bit of a chorus as well. So I just so every day, every morning, I just have this practice of going, wow. And I get out, my bedroom's in a separate building to my living area. And I just get out and come out of my bedroom. I look up at the sky, all the stars and the moon, if it's around, and just go, wow. You know, have my feet on the ground, just really connect. And it just sets me up for the day, because it's so interesting. You know, happiness it's made out to be something that's a big thing, you know, like when I achieve this and when I achieve that, you know, then I'll be happy. No. And what I've learned on my journey is it's right here and now. There's so much, you know, nature is jumping up and down. Nature, insects are, flowers are, the sky is jumping up and down saying, look at me, or experience me. Because when you connect with it, when you're present, wow, that is such a joyous, happy, amazing feeling. And guess what, Bob? It's free.
Yeah, exactly. I was recently on vacation. I'd get up real early just to make sure I saw the sunrise. And
I love sunrise.
Yeah, the birds chirping, the ducks on the lake squawking. Like you said, they're singing. Yeah, look at
Yeah.
me, it's a new day. You bring up a great point. We get
Yeah.
up and we get to experience that new day. We have
Yes, absolutely. It's
an
a
open
brand new day.
yeah, an open platform in front of us to do whatever, we want to get closer to that goal, whether that's, like you said, in your case, you were healing, you
Yep.
learn the appreciation, you appreciate the daily activities. I mean, that's a great outlook on, what we can do in our life, that we don't need to stay around or keep that negativity. Like you said, in 2020, all that negativity, and it's still coming out if you've got that idiot box on
Yes.
the
Oh
wall
gosh,
on,
turn it off. Turn it
turn
off.
it off.
Turn
Exactly.
it off.
Exactly.
Just want to make the point that I wasn't always like this. Like before my husband died, and when we were living in Sydney, I was a high flying, flew all over the world, that sort of corporate lifestyle, and I was busy. So as soon as I got up in the mornings, I was poof,
Right.
going, a million miles an hour. And my husband used to say to me, Tessa, you need to stop and smell the roses. And I'm going, that used to really irritate me, because I used to think, can't he see how busy I am? I will get around to it. I'll get around to smelling those roses, and then zoom, 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 off I'd go. And now I realize that, the roses don't hang around for you.
No.
They're just there in that moment. It's like little children they don't hang around for you and stay little children. They're just there in that moment.
Yeah.
So it's stop and smell the roses now. And I really get it. But, if you looked at me like, back in corporate land, boy, did I not get it. So I had to have the thump, I call that thump, the waking up thump, boom.
Yeah.
With the passing of my husband, to really go, wow, to realize what life is about, and to realize what happiness is about, and to realize what living a happy, healthy, enchanted life is about. I just, out of the tragedy of my husband's death and dying, which was an amazing experience of one of its own, by the way, but it's out of that I've learned all this, and I really have developed this gift now, which I'm really passionate about sharing with others.
Can't tell.
No, really.
And that's unfortunately that, these things happen, but we will all experience events like this in life. And, none of us are here permanently. We've got to understand just what you learned. Take time and smell the roses. I often tell people, your day is going to go haywire. So take the time, go outside, enjoy a breeze, walk around, look at the trees. In Florida, we get to see the sunshine a lot. Enjoy things around you. Enjoy the laughter of little kids. They're not annoying. They're fun. They're learning. They're trying to show you things. Enjoy the birds. They're squawking about how great the day is. They're trying to tell you something, Try it.
Absolutely. And it's not hard. And it doesn't, and all it takes, as I've learned, is a moment. It just takes a moment. And if you just take a moment, then what's actually really cool, Bob, is that you take a moment, and then that moment, that's all you have to do, commit to a moment. And then that moment leads to another moment, to another moment, to another moment. So, see, a lot of people think they've got to focus on the big stuff. I've got to do it big time, go out big. That was me anyway. I used to be, all or nothing person. But, it's actually, and then it makes it all too difficult, because you start thinking about it and think, oh, I'll put that off.
Yeah, you're trying to move a mountain,
That's it, but yes, but all you have to do is take a moment, that's for me is the starting point. Have a happiness moment, because happiness moments are tricky wee things, and they're very addictive. So it's like you get on a train, and one happiness moment leads to the other, to the other, to the other, and gee, before you know it, you think, gee, I'm happy.
Yeah.
I'm feeling happy.
And it becomes a habit, and that's
it becomes a habit. Absolutely. So I've developed all these habits, like my morning routine. When I get up, I just walk out of my bedroom villa and look at the sky, listen to the bird, listen to the roosters. Actually, I start listening to the roosters earlier on, because they actually start about 4 a.m. I don't mind. I love the roosters.
Yeah, they're they're good. They have their purpose, so enjoy it.
Yes,
it's interesting how you've shown your growth. How do you help your clients to do that? Because so many times I'm sure you get clients that are, they're like this, and woe is me. do you take them through your journey? How do you help them with that?
Well, what I do is a couple of things. I have a living in high vibration roadmap, and people can download that. It's at lhvroadmap.com, lhvroadmap.com. And that roadmap comes with the happiness superpower roadmap. And it also comes, which helps you, happiness superpower roadmap for gaining happiness as a superpower. And also it comes with what I call the ULA methodology, which is understand, let go, action. And that methodology helps you consume high vibrations through your eyes, your ears, your mouth, your nose, your skin. And so there's those two sort of roadmaps, and there's 2 videos there just to get you started. So that's kind of like a starter step.
Right.
And then what I do is every week I do a video, a video just on one aspect of living in high vibration. But what I also do is I have what I call the happiness superpower gym. So if people are really, committed to mastering, acquiring happiness is a superpower, so that they're masterful at generating happy emotions. I mean, why wouldn't anybody be? But anyway, so I have a happiness superpower gym, which is a membership, and basically it just goes through happiness in the moment, happiness in self, happiness in relationships. And it's all about doing really fun exercises, and different exercises every week, really, because it's all about doing something little. I'm not into doing big stuff, as you might have noticed, but it's all about doing little things every day, because they accumulate. And then over time, you just go, wow, and you've changed. And that's why I'm a big one for every week people journaling how they felt doing the exercise, because and to take regular, every 6 weeks I say, write down, look at where you are, describe yourself, how you feel, etc. Because I guarantee within a few months and even in a year, you won't even recognize yourself. You won't even know how far you've come. So that's why it's so important to journal, where you take a point, because you don't know how far you've come. And I just look at me. I mean, if you met me several years ago, well, I wouldn't even be able to have this conversation, because I'd be bursting into tears. And I really thought, why was me? What's the point? I don't want to be here. So the transformation is just like, for myself, I'm in awe of the transformation, total awe. But it only happened one happiness moment at a time. So it's just doing little things. So the happiness superpower gym is my love and joy, and that's a really great place to start, really.
Good. Well, I love the idea of vibration. I gotta throw this in there because it keeps ringing in my head. It's the Beach Boys song, Good Vibrations. They really had something with it, didn't they?
They did. And I heard the Beach Boys, they came to Sydney, and they played on Narrabeen Beach. They played on the beach.
Okay.
Can you believe it?
Yeah.
And I remember listening to the Good Vibrations. Oh, I just love the Beach Boys. Oh, yes.
But there is something to that. And that's what's so interesting is, you talk about what comes at you, if you will, through your eyes, your ears, and your skin. Are those the things that cause triggers? You mentioned triggers in some of your material. Are the the bad news and the national news type things, and people complaining, those are all types of triggers, aren't they?
Oh gosh, yes. And as you mentioned before, the best thing to do is turn it off.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Turn off the TV.
Yeah.
But having turn off the TV, right? But having said that, and you do need to turn the TV off, I'm a great proponent. In fact, someone asked me the other day, should you not look at the negative? Should you just ignore it? And I'm going, no. You actually need to look at the negative, because the negative can be really inspiring. And the negative can inspire you to make change and take action. So I'm all for looking at the negative. And now I'm just kind of all for look at the negative, observe it. I say, here we are, I have a torch, observe it. Don't be in it, because that's when it's like quicksand, you just go down, right? So just observe it, then let it go with love and gratitude, and then take an action. So I've kind of turned it around. So when you have something negative happen, almost use it, that may trigger you, but use that trigger to kind of as a way of inspiring you and motivating you to take an action to basically move yourself back into high vibration.
Right.
In other words, be the change you want to be the change you want to see in the world. So yeah, use the triggers. That's one way of using the triggers, is to inspire and motivate you to take action to change.
Right.
But definitely be aware, absolutely be aware of what's going on.
Right.
Totally be aware of it. But don't get yourself, I fell into that trap last year, I'll confess. I fell into it, and it's like quicksand, you know.
Yeah.
It's like you just go down, 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 down.
Yeah,
So,
you feel heavy after watching that, or hearing that, and it's constantly repeated and over, and it's
turn it off. Turn it off. You're aware of it, so don't go over it and over it and over it and over it, because that's what you call, that has the quicksand effect. No. Just be aware of it, and you need to be aware of it for your own safety, for safety of your friends and family, and you need to be aware of it, because by being aware of it and shining the light on it, that basically stops the continued existence and growth of something as well.
Right.
By being
Stops
aware
the mold
of it.
from growing.
Precisely. If you didn't know it was there and cleaned it up, you know, it would just keep being there. So So I'm all about living in high vibration, and people think, oh, then Tessa doesn't believe in looking at the negative, and I go, no, Tessa absolutely believes in looking at the negative, but looking at it in a special way, so you don't get stuck in it, and so that you can use it to inspire and transform yourself and others.
I think that's the key piece there, is don't get stuck in it, because that is a spiral vacuum. And I talked to somebody recently on another podcast about this same idea. Look at the issue from like an out-of-body experience, if you will. Like, you're up in the air looking at both sides of the equation, so you understand, you know, the positive view. It's not Pollyanna, it can help you, but understand the basis of what's going on, and what that negative will do to you, how that will affect you, but the reality of the situation. A lot of times, you know, we may get into situations, whether it's a financial or a hardship scenario, whatever. Okay, how are you going to get out of that? You can't sit there and woe is me. That doesn't help you get out of it. You know, you've got to take that action, like you said, and your mindset is what helps you to take that action. It starts with ideas, and it starts that you know, catalyst of, what can I do to do this? I can go mow some lawns, or I can do this, or I could sell this stuff. How can I get out of this financial hole I'm in? Is there somebody that might be able to help me out temporarily? You know, you start digging ideas into your mind, and then take those actions. Yes,
and the other thing too is, and by the way, that ULA methodology will help with that as well. Understand, let go, action, and just, you know, download that and get the video as well. But and what's so really cool is, see, we're brought up in this world that we have to figure everything out. You know, figure. We've got to figure it out. And what's really cool, Bob, is the moment we start like taking action and taking what you said, take your mind off it, stop going into that quicksand, right? But know it's there, but then go and take some action. It's like when you're walking, I don't know if this happens to you, but when you're walking in nature or taking a shower or just playing or doing something, ideas come to you.
Oh yeah.
Wow, they come to you. You're not even thinking about it. It's like, you know, that's the other thing that's cool about when you're in high vibration, is you access all sorts of other superpowers, right? You access, for example, intuition superpowers, telepathy superpowers. So that's what I'm saying, is that you suddenly get access to all these amazing extra superpowers that and it's not about you having to figure it out. You kind of get access to what some people call the universal intelligence. Kind of ideas pop into your head, and you go, where did that come from? Or you might meet somebody who says a word, and then that goes, wow, and then that leads you off on a path. So I think we need to also get over ourselves. You know, we think, and I'm talking to myself, by the way, because I'm a figure-outer. You know, my mind, you know, I've got to figure this out. No, you just gotta let it go, and then just go off and smell the roses, go for a walk, you know, go for a swim, go for a run, whatever, and just trust the process and just put it out there. And ideas, I promise you, ideas will come to you. And that's how I write my weekly blog video.
Right.
Is I give myself permission on the first day. I do it over 3 days. The first day, I give myself permission to, pardon my French, write crap, right? Yeah. I just write.
First
and I know it's complete and utter rubbish, but I I don't beat myself up on it. I just write complete rubbish. And then I just leave it and I go off and I do something else, and then I come back the next day and I look at it and I go, yeah, it is rubbish. And I just keep writing again and and then I go off again. And I call this the percolating. I'm letting it percolate.
Right.
And then I kid you not, on the third morning, and I always do this in the mornings, by the way, the third morning I come and I look at what I've written and I go, wow. And then all of a sudden I just rearrange the words because it's all just come to me. And I look at it and I go, wow, that's amazing. I wonder who wrote that.
But that's the way I've written 7 books. You don't do it all at once. It's just comes out. Certain ideas are hot that time of day or certain days. Other times it slows down, and then you come back, you rewrite it, you readjust it. And when it all comes together, because you've had these moments of ideas, it's free. It really is. It's not stressful. It's not hard work. It comes together, but you got to allow yourself that time to do that.
That's it. And you've got to let go of you having to figure it all out. Just trust the process.
Through this process, do you feel your faith has been stronger or just your, because of your growth, your mentality? How has that worked for you?
Oh my goodness. Yes.
Yeah.
Well, yes, and yes. I'd say that started, I've always had a very strong faith.
Mm-hmm.
But I didn't have, there's faith and then there's a knowing, isn't there? And there's a difference.
Right.
So you can have faith on something, but not really know. So the way my husband died, that he basically went into hospital, and it was 6 weeks. I call it a 6-week dying process. And he was in palliative for a few days. But the way that he passed over to the other side and some of the incidences that happened and some of the things that he said and some of the things that other people said, and it was quite magical. It was absolutely no doubt whatsoever that there was a spiritual realm.
Wow.
I absolutely know with certainty. And then after he passed as well, sort of, there was sort of, people would say they're coincidences, but I started logging these coincidences and I've got about 50 of them, right? So it's beyond coincidence to know that there were things coming to me from the other side. But just on my with happiness as a superpower, just that and just my everyday life, and also now because I'm developing manifesting superpowers as well. Right. I absolutely know that we're so much more powerful than we're led to believe, and it's not about us. We are a spirit in a body here to experience Earth, but we have we've got access to so many resources. Yeah. If we just allow it. So I just allow, and I just laugh and chuckle to myself, because it's when you're in this high vibration. You can't, by the way, access these superpowers when you're in low vibration. It's simply not possible. That's why I say live in high vibration, so you're free to live a happy, healthy life, enchanted life. Because in low vibration, your body, basically when you're in low vibration, your body goes, oh my goodness, I'm in survival mode. I'm being chased by a saber-toothed tiger. So it says to your spirit, I'm going to put you aside for the moment because I've got to focus on saving your body. Otherwise you're not going to be here much longer. Yeah. So I just think we're so much more powerful. We've got all these superpowers. We're here to live a happy, healthy, enchanted life. We're here to have manifesting superpowers, to use them, and intuition superpowers, and creativity superpowers, and telepathy superpowers. So in answer to your question, I don't have faith anymore. I have absolute knowing. Absolute knowing.
There you go. You've lived it, you've experienced it, you know it. And that's so refreshing to understand, because all these things we go through in life, there is a higher power. Like you said, that there's so much more. That's why I think when people pass, there's a sense of peace that leaves on their body, because they realize what they're getting on the other side. And
absolutely. And it was quite interesting, because the moment my husband passed, it was quite surreal. Right. But I was just kind of looking at him, but the moment he passed, you didn't have to tell me, oh, someone didn't say, oh, by the way, your husband's dead now. Didn't have to tell me. I was just looking at him, and one moment his spirit was there,
Yeah.
and the next moment it wasn't.
Right.
And I just looked at him and thought, that's not my husband.
Yeah.
That was a thought that came into my head. That's not my husband. He'd gone.
Yeah.
So his body was there, but it was just a split second. It was just incredible.
Wow.
His spirit left the building, so to speak.
Yeah. Well, and like you said, that's what gave him the thriving, that person you understood and knew. And when that's gone, like you said, it wasn't that person anymore.
Yeah. Yeah.
So yeah, but it's interesting too, because you talk about, the high vibrations and how that, helps you to, it doesn't give you that weight, that low vibration, like you said, that protection mode. So you're opening, your mind is open to accepting new ideas, new facts that might be coming at you. It's a whole different realm. And that's the exciting part, is the idea that we have opportunity all around us if we open ourselves up to this.
Oh, absolutely. And the high vibration is, as I said, it's also making sure that you are eating high vibration foods, and through your eyes, like you're looking at, like high vibration, like entertainment, and listening to high vibration sounds, and like nature is a good one, or listening to high vibration music, just making sure that it's all basically synced up. It's not that hard. When I say it's not that hard, but it took me my whole life to figure this out.
Yeah. Well, and
we're not taught it. We're not taught it.
No, we're not. We have to experience it through life, and that's what makes the journey so interesting, I think. So
yes.
Tessa, where can people find out more about you, your website, your vlogs? I know they're on your website as well, but tell us more about that, if you could.
Oh, right. Okay. So first off, as I mentioned, if you'd like if you're interested in living in high vibration, download the Living in High Vibration Roadmap, and you can get that at lhvroadmap.com. That's lhvroadmap.com. And you can also go to my website, blog, and that's at tessastowe.com. tessastowe.com, and that's got all my video blogs and written blogs and all my social media links and everything else there as well.
And in case you're wondering, for the listeners, she is like this on her video logs as well. I went through some of them. She's got this energy. She's got the passion. Take a listen. Check out her website, because it's truly a fun person to be around. You're emanate just happiness, and I appreciate that so much. And I want to thank you for being a guest here on the Encouragement Engineering podcast today, because we need this in the world. So keep up your great work.
Oh, Bob, thank you so much. I thoroughly enjoyed our conversation. It's been fun. A great way to start my day.
Great. Well, thank you, Tess. I appreciate it. And I hope you continue to do the greatness you're doing. So continue your work.
Thank you. Thanks, Bob.